Welcome, everyone. It is 12 Eastern, and this is the Music News Power Hour from the Music Industry City Broadcast Network. Stay tuned. We're going to be starting shortly with today's breaking music news, all the news that's fit to actually listen to and discuss right here on Clubhouse and on stream. If you'd like to join us on the video, you can go to our website and tune in to watch us on our live stream video, and that's musicindustrycity.com. Also, be sure to ping your friends into the room just in case they can't see us out in the hallway here on Clubhouse. Use the plus sign at the bottom of the room to ping in anyone that you think might enjoy today's discussion. And remember that you can raise your hand as we discuss today's headlines to join the discussion on any of the topics that we're bringing up today. If you'd like to follow along at home, you can also visit our website and hit the show notes link so that you can read all of the articles that we are covering today, follow along, and check out any links therein. Our website, again, is musicindustrycity.com. We'll be starting our countdown here shortly. Welcome to today's Music News Power Hour.
It's Monday, the 21st of June, and this is the Music News Power Hour on the Music Industry City Broadcast Network. I'm Peter Schwing, and please join me in welcoming my co-host, Eli Window. Eli, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great today, Peter. It is Monday Fun Day. I'm glad to be here. It's good to see you.
It's a Monday Summer Fun Day. Happy summer.
That's right. Happy summer. It is indeed. Happy summer, everyone.
Right on. Great. Now, Angela is off for the next few days. So with that being said, we're going to cover in today's news. It's final. Pershing Square's SPAC will own 10% of Universal Music Group. Diddy is helping underrepresented students. BMG settles with Roblox. The live music sector has staffing problems. Rockefeller sues Damon Dash over NFT. And as always, our daily Spotify update. Those stories coming up right after this. But first, let's take a look at this day in music history with Eli. Eli, take it away.
All right. On this day in music history, June 21st, 2001, we remember the death of John Lee Hooker, American blues singer and guitarist who died in his sleep on this date, 2001. He was aged 83. Also in memory, on this date, 2016, we lost trumpeter Wayne Jackson, who formed the Memphis Horns duo with saxophonist Andrew Love. He died of congestive heart failure at the age of 74. And on this date, June 21st, 2019, we lost American music manager and record executive Elliot Roberts, who died aged 76. He is best known for helping to start and develop the careers of singer-songwriters from the late 1960s and 70s, including those of Neil Young, whom he managed for over 50 years, and also Joni Mitchell, in memory. Moving on, birthdays today. Born this date, 1932, Argentine-born American pianist, composer, arranger, Lalo Schifrin. Film soundtracks including theme from Mission Impossible, Enter the Dragon, the Dirty Harry films, and Jaws. Born this date, 1932. Also born this date, 1944, English musician Ray Davies, a singer-songwriter with the Kinks. And born this date, 1950, Joey Kramer, drummer with Aerosmith, rock legend. Born this date, 1976, Michael Eisinger from Incubus. And born this date, 1981, American singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist Brandon Flowers from The Killers. Also born June 21st in 1985, American singer-songwriter Lana Del Rey, born Elizabeth Woolridge Grant. Happy birthday all around. Moving on this day in music history, June 21st, 1994, George Michael lost his lawsuit against Sony Records. Michael claimed that his 15-year contract with Sony was unfair because the company could refuse to release albums it thought wouldn't be commercially successful. Michael vowed he would never record for Sony again. He re-signed with the company in 2003. On June 21st, 2000, 39-year-old Karen McNeil, who claimed she was the wife of Axl Rose and that she communicated with him telepathically, was jailed for 1 year for stalking the singer. And on this date, June 21st, 2015, Apple Music reversed its payment policy a day after Taylor Swift said she was refusing to allow the company to stream her latest album, 1989. In an open letter to Apple, Swift said she was withholding the record as she was unhappy with the 3-month free trial offered to subscribers, saying, "We don't ask you for free iPhones. Please don't ask us to provide you with our music for no compensation." Apple now said it would pay artists for music streaming during trial periods as of this date, 2015. And that's it for On This Day in History. Back over to you, Peter.
And thanks for that. You know, what was it? The George Michael saying, "I will never work with Sony again." And then it's like, oh, well, yeah, okay. I guess I'm going to work with Sony again. It reminded me of James
Never
Murphy.
say never?
Yeah, well, like many artists, musicians that say, this is our farewell tour, like LCD Sound System. And even in that movie, he was like, we're not going to be one of those bands that comes back, that was going to retire and comes back 2 years later. And I think it was almost to the date they came back. So never say never.
Never say never.
All right. Thanks for that. All right. This is where we summarize the most essential news in the fast-paced music industry. I'd also like to thank everyone who is viewing the show in AltSpace VR and on our video stream. To set the stage for a roundtable conversation, we begin by reading key sections of media pieces. If you'd like to provide commentary on one of today's topics, raise your hand during the reading. To stay up to date on this and other programming, follow the Music Industry City group by tapping the greenhouse at the top, and you can register for free at musicindustrycity.com to obtain access to exclusive content. And remember to follow all our green button co-hosts and commentators as they take the stage. Now let's get to it. All right, and this first piece is from Music Business Worldwide. To access all the articles mentioned in today's show and throughout the week, visit musicindustrycity.com and click on the show notes graphic. It's a done deal. Pershing Square SPAC is buying 10% of Universal Music Group for $4 billion. Pershing Square Tontine Holdings, PSTH, a U.S.-based special purpose acquisition company, SPAC, is officially buying 10% of Universal Music Group. They confirmed over the weekend that it had entered into a definitive agreement with UMG's majority owner, Vivendi, to acquire 10% of outstanding ordinary shares in UMG for approximately $4 billion. Later this year, after Vivendi completes the previously announced listing of UMG on Euronext Amsterdam, shares representing 10% of the music company will be distributed to PSTH shareholders. Vivendi has previously announced that UMG's listing in Amsterdam, which will see 60% of the company floated on the stock exchange, will be completed by September 27th at the latest. Following the Amsterdam listing and PSTH share distribution, UMG will be owned 10% by Vivendi, 10% by PSTH, 60% as traded on the Amsterdam Euronext, and 20% by a consortium led by Tencent Holdings. And today's news reflects the conclusion of discussions between PSTH and Vivendi over the deal as it was initially announced on June 4th. So this is really interesting to see what's going to happen, how this is going to unfold, and what kind of changes are going to happen, and the future of we see a lot of IPOs, we see a lot of SPACs. So keep looking out for this, because we're going to see a lot more of this SPAC term, and even more so than we have in the last few weeks. Moving over to Billboard. Sean Diddy Combs signs with WME, starts development program for underrepresented students. The virtual development program aims to diversify the entertainment, marketing, music, and fashion industries. Sean Diddy Combs and Endeavor are teaming up to diversify the music industry. On the heels of Combs signing with WME for representation in all areas, the two will partner for the Excellence Program, which aims to be one of the largest virtual development programs and resume databases for aspiring entertainment executives from underrepresented communities. The Excellence Program will launch July 12th and will be free and accessible to eligible students with an interest in breaking into entertainment, marketing, music, or fashion. The 6-week program will include sessions spanning categories such as touring and performing, professional development, entertainment, business, and storytelling. The sessions will be taught and curated by a list of industry heavyweights, including Jody Badass, Kari Champion, Victor Cruz, and many more. Sarpise Combs says, beginning my career as an intern changed my life, so it's been a lifelong dream to give the next generation of entrepreneurs and executives access to the best in entertainment, marketing, music, and fashion. Partnering with Endeavor creates a pipeline to opportunities that allow future leaders to not only succeed, but thrive in these highly competitive industries. Combs will kick off the program with a session on igniting the excellence in you. Once the program is completed, top participants will be considered for internships at the aforementioned companies and entered into a master database resume book to be shared across relevant companies in an effort to diversify hiring pipelines and recruiting industry-wide. Combs Enterprises and Endeavor have agreed to commit to hiring interns and entry-level employees from the program. It's really good. I like to see this. And we're going to talk more about these programs and initiatives for underrepresented communities and to really help, diversify and help the future leaders get in the door and have a pathway upstream to success. Last week we discussed Roblox being sued by many organizations. And this week, from MusicWeek.com, BMG settles licensing dispute with Roblox. Will other music companies follow? Roblox and BMG have announced a strategic agreement for the songs and recordings controlled by the music company to be used on the gaming platform. The licensing deal follows the resolution of prior claims relating to the use of BMG repertoire. The settlement with BMG follows a separate legal action filed by the NMPA on behalf of publishers and rights holders who are suing for $200 million. The VP and global head of music over at Roblox says, BMG's artist-centric approach and boldness in the music state-of-the-art technology to help maximize their success is very much in line with Roblox's focus on empowering our communities of creators. Our partnership with BMG will enable them to do what they do best, and that's to empower incredible talent with new ways to reach and engage fans and create innovative new commercial opportunities. So to note that Roblox has previously partnered with Warner Music artists, including Royal Blood and Why Don't We, as well as securing a high-profile in-game performance by Lil Nas X. And, this falls under the category of many, seems like the MO is do first, ask for forgiveness, or AKA ask for licensing later. And it's also something that the music industry, the NMPA, RIAA, they pay attention. And then when it gets to the point of like, no, listen, you really should be paying us. And we don't know what really happened, if Roblox even said no or whatever. But then it's like, okay, well, we're going to file a lawsuit. Now that we got your attention, let's talk. So Roblox is like, this could be their way of saying like, well, we were going to do this anyway, but, we wanted to hold off to see as long as we could. Maybe that's how it works. I don't know. It seems pretty status quo.
What is it that they say? Better to ask for forgiveness than permission, something like that.
Yeah, do first, ask for forgiveness later. All right, on. All right, and speaking of asking for permission, well, this one is in a different way. This is from Complete Music Update. Labels want stream ripping sites to maintain and share logs of what content is ripped. The major labels suing stream ripping service FLVTO and 2CONV have asked the court overseeing the case to force the operator of those sites to log information about what files are being ripped and to then share those logs with the plaintiffs. Stream ripping sites, which turn temporary streams, often YouTube streams, into permanent downloads, have been the music industry's top piracy gripe for years now. The music industry argues that such sites facilitate and should therefore be held liable for copyright infringement. And to that end, the U.S. majors are suing the Russian operator of the sites through the courts in Virginia. The owner of those sites initially got the lawsuit dismissed on jurisdiction grounds, and it was reinstated on appeal. And now the labels are trying to get logs from the companies to identify what specific YouTube videos are having their audio ripped via the two websites, and also where the rippers are located. Such information, the labels argue, quote, is plainly relevant to the court claims and defenses in this case, including the scope and extent of infringement, defendants' financial benefit from infringement, and the defendant's affirmative defense that defendants' websites have significant non-infringing uses. The site owner argues that he isn't currently logging any of that information on the two sites, and expecting him to start doing so would be unduly burdensome. However, the labels counter that's not true. Such information could easily be logged on the servers, they reckon. In fact, it only seems likely the only reason that information isn't already being logged, as a matter of course, is because the site owner has chosen to turn such data capture off. So, yeah, we're letting people stream and rip, and it's too burdensome for me to actually go turn on the logging to get all that information. I don't know a lot about websites and all this IT. I know a little. I know if you're a programmer, you can pretty much do anything. So if you can build a stream ripping site, I think you can turn on the analytics. With that being said,
that does stand to good reason, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, we are going to go across the pond here. And this one from accessa.co.uk. And you can find all of these articles in the show notes at musicindustrycity.com. Just go to musicindustrycity.com and click on the show notes graphic to find all the headlines. From the Fields launches diversity initiative targeting trainee promoters. From the Fields, the Manchester-based production agency behind Kendall Calling and Blue Dot Festivals, has launched Shout, a training initiative available initially for two young budding promoters from Black, Asian, and minority ethnic backgrounds. From the Fields, which also organizes Arts by the Sea, has launched the initiative in partnership with charity Youth Music's new £2 million incubator fund supported by the People's Postcode Lottery. Applications are open until July 15th for the placement that will begin in October for two 18 to 25-year-olds promoters to join From the Fields until June 2022. From the Fields said the initiative will provide participants with access to coaches and mentors, education and training, workspace, professional and peer networks, business development support, funding access support, and help to develop a freelance career. The role will be paid based on a living wage of £10 per hour and will consist of 12 hours of training per week with funded attendance at industry conferences, including the Great Escape in Brighton and Focus Wales. No, it's good to see this. I like to see this kind of support to help people that may not have those opportunities to get in that door and to get that education and mentorship. So I think that's part of our theme today. With that being said, let's check in with Eli.
Indeed. Let's check in with Eli. And as we check in with me, don't forget to check in with your friends. You can use the plus sign at the bottom of the room to ping your friends in anytime and join us here in the Music News Power Hour. We're here from 12 to 1 Eastern each day. Make sure that you follow your moderators. These are the speakers on the stage with the green moderator icon. Tap the green house icon at the top of the room to join the club, and make sure that you visit musicindustrycity.com, our website. And that having been said, let's take a look at our next headline, this from iqmag.net. Resurgent live music sector faces staff shortages. And again, you can follow along with this and any of our headlines today by visiting our website. Resurgent live music sector faces staff shortages as live music prepares to get back to business. Industry bodies in the UK, the Netherlands, France, and elsewhere have sounded the alarm over the impending labor shortage. UK industry bodies, including LIVE, that is Live Music Industries, Venue and Entertainment, the Concert Promoters Association, the Events Industry Forum, and UK Crowd Management Association have written to the Prime Minister regarding what they describe as crippling staff shortages across large parts of the UK economy. The Live Entertainment and Events Associations are joined by trade bodies representing other sectors, including hospitality, food and drink, and retail, and calling for government action to help remediate the situation, with the letter suggesting that EU workers could be allowed to return on a short-term basis to help fill the empty roles. This is from the quotes. While the overall picture is complex, one short-term solution with immediate benefit would be to temporarily ease immigration requirements for the large numbers of workers, partially from the EU, who have returned to their homelands during the lockdowns. This has contributed greatly to the shortfalls, end quote. And this is from the letter. You can visit the link on our website to read along and see other additional links. Continuing on from the letter, indeed, a study in 2020 by the UK's Economic Statistics Centre of Excellence estimated that 1.3 million migrants left the UK between July 2019 and September 2020. This figure was based on UK labour statistics and represents over 4% of the UK workforce. Unfortunately, evidence suggests that those unemployed within the UK workforce seem unwilling to take on many of the jobs where there are vacancies in the industries that we represent. To help resolve this, we ask that all those who have worked in the UK over the last 3 years are given the freedom to return to work here with less restrictive immigration regulations based on a short-term basis. The letter does go on and specifies a relaxation of the rules does not need to be open-ended, but it needs to happen quickly if we are to support the recovery of the UK economy. And this article goes on. Please do check out the link at our website and want to go on and check out the end of this article here. According to Security Industry Authority, over a quarter of the UK's total security workforce were non-UK nationals in 2018. By estimations, over half of the vacancies in this sector may be left unfilled when business restarts and gets back to normal later this summer. And so these are workers in all in all sectors of the live show industry. And these calls for relaxation would allow so many people to come back to work and really allow the live show industry to get back on its feet. Please do check out this headline and all of our headlines for today at our website. There's so much more to this article. Back over to you, Peter. I can't hear you. Can anybody else hear
And
Peter?
on our website,
There we go.
And on our website, we also have daily briefs, which you can also find on our podcast. And every morning at around 8 a.m. That's Eastern time on the podcast, we do a daily brief. It's about a 2 to 3 minute snippet of new releases, tour announcements, other musical chairs, and industry news that we might tease, saying we'll be covering that later in the Music News Power Hour. So check that out. You can just search Music Industry City on your favorite podcast player, but also it's in the notes and it's on the website. So you can find all of that just by clicking it on the website. And we are live streaming this as a live stream video. And if you want to check out what's happening behind the scenes, you can see that right at musicindustrycity.com. It'll say live videos go here. So if it's great, we're not live. But if it's not great, we're live. Just click on it. So come and say hi in the live stream. And that's when I also say hi to everybody. Let me wave over to them in camera too. Okay, so let's move over. Sony. This one, Sony Music Australia boss Dennis Hanlon exits after 50 plus years with the company. Dennis Hanlon, chairman and CEO of Sony Music Entertainment Australia and New Zealand, has exited the company effective immediately. The long-serving Sony Music executive's departure was announced by Sony Music Group chairman Rob Stringer in an internal email sent to staff today. Hanlon has led Sony Music Entertainment's operations in Australia for more than 30 years. He is also Sony Music's longest-serving employee globally, having spent more than 50 years with the company. In the email sent by Stringer to Sony Music Australia's staff on Monday, he thanked Hanlon for, quote, his extraordinary contribution to the company and its artists. Stringer also writes that, quote, it is time for a change in leadership and that he will be making further announcements regarding the Australia and New Zealand's business in due course. Hanlon started out at the Australian record company, which is now Sony Music, in May of 1970, working in the distribution division in Brisbane. Following Sony Corporation's acquire, in addition to his long career at Sony, Hanlon is also the longest-serving member of the board of ARIA, global recorded music trade body, IFPI's affiliate national group in Australia. And here's you can read the entire email, but Stringer says in the email, I'm writing to let you know that Dennis Hanlon will be leaving Sony Music Entertainment after more than 50 years with the company, effective immediately. It is time for a change in leadership, and I will be making further announcements in terms of the new direction of our business in Australia and New Zealand in due course. Moving over to digital music news. This one. Is Tomorrowland 2021 canceled? Organizers are exploring all possible options after abrupt shutdown order. So this we've seen happening a lot. It was in the UK and also in Europe that things start to open up, then a cautionary tale, and then closing things down again, just being cautious. We saw that the UK added 4 extra weeks before opening back up to the live music sector due to the Delta variant. And, the notes on the other news was the Delta variant has caused a surge in COVID-19 cases. So, this is all part of being careful, but, it's also some confusion. So this one starts off, though the Belgian government has given the green light to Tomorrowland 2021 and other crowd-based events scheduled for mid-August or later, local government officials recently claimed that the event, quote, cannot take place in their town. Now organizers are exploring all possible options in an effort to prevent a cancellation for the second consecutive season. The 16-year-old festival was originally scheduled for the final weekend of August and the first weekend of September, once again from Boom, Antwerp, Belgium. In previous years, Tomorrowland, which attracted some 400,000 EDM fans to the approximately 16,000 resident town in 2019, commenced in July, with the lone exception of the inaugural event in 2005. But Tomorrowland organizers, by settling upon a late August start date for the 2021 edition, appeared to believe that the extra month or so, in coordination with the continued rollout of COVID-19 vaccines, would enable their happening to take place without issue. Moreover, Belgium's consultant committee seemed to agree with the assessment, clarifying that up to 75,000 fans will be able to simultaneously enjoy larger-scale events as of August 13th, albeit after showing a proof of vaccination or a negative COVID-19 test. The consultative committee outlined other coronavirus restriction rollbacks, including allowing as many as 2,000 attendees per indoor show and 2,500 attendees per outdoor happening. At the next meeting set for Friday, July 16th, the body will see if it can remove many of the remaining restrictions, according to the Prime Minister. In spite of the ongoing reopening, however, the mayor of Boom and the mayor of neighboring Rumps stated in a release entitled, quote, 16th edition of Tomorrowland not until 2022, according to the Google Translate. That is, they will not grant a permit to Tomorrowland 2021. This decision, the mayor's continued, is based, quote, on the advice of virologists, the Federal Health Service, and the local and federal police. Notwithstanding aforementioned 75,000 attendee cap for Tomorrowland, the mayors in their 6-page long order relayed a statement made by the participants of the consultative committee, however, does not have the force of law. So the Tomorrowland organizers said today they are very surprised and puzzled by these contradictory messages from our governments, and that they intend over the coming days to explore possible options and try to obtain some clarity for our visitors and suppliers. We're going to move over to NME, and let's talk about the 3 letters in a different way. Rockefeller sues Damon Dash over attempted sale of Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt as an NFT. Dash co-founded the famous rap label of Jay-Z and Cream Biggs Burke. Rockefeller Records has filed a lawsuit claiming co-founder Damon Dash is attempting to auction off Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt as an NFT. The rap label, which has also been home to Kanye West, Cameron, and Beanie Sigel, alleges that Dash cannot legally sell Jay's 1996 debut album as the rights to it belongs to the label. According to the court documents filed by attorney Alex Spiro, Dash's attempted auction has since been canceled, and that the mogul is, quote, frantically scouting for another venue to mark the sale. Following news of the lawsuit, Dash said that the complaint is full of inaccuracies and it's not Reasonable Doubt he's trying to sell, but instead his shares in Rockefeller. Dash told the publication that Jay-Z tried to buy his 1/3 share of the label back in March, but at a price he deemed unacceptable. Now looking for a new buyer, Dash said if he comes to an agreement with someone, then under the terms of the deal with the potential buyer, the buyer would buy my share of Rockefeller Records and Jay-Z will have exclusive administration rights. And so this is really interesting. I mean, can you sell shares of a business? Can you sell an album as an NFT? Why would you make it an NFT anyway? Why don't you, if you're going to sell the shares, just sell the shares? I don't know how this works, but Eli.
I was just wondering the same thing myself. Why the NFT? I thought maybe I didn't understand, but it seems just kind of going around your elbow to get to your backside, you know?
I saw you back there on the screen, just like what? So
I was wondering if I was misunderstanding, but that's what it seemed like to me. Go around your elbow to get to your backside.
right on. All right. With that being said, we're going to move over to Instagram Reels. Now has ads. That's good if you are marketing a product. It's annoying if you are a viewer of Instagram Reels. So it has ads, but Instagram hasn't said how the format is actually doing. All right, so get ready to start seeing ads in Instagram Reels. The app's video feed will start including ads today across the globe. They'll look just like any other reel, full screen, looping up to 30 seconds long, and will appear in between other clips. Ads will be identified by a small sponsored tag below the name of the advertiser's account. Instagram started testing ads in Australia, Brazil, Germany, and India in April. There's nothing particularly surprising about more ads making their way onto the app, other than that the pace of which Instagram has moved to turn this new format into a revenue generator. Facebook also said this week it would also bring ads to Oculus Quest apps. I'm going to go with that article after we finish this one because, why not? Reels only launched in August 2020, and the company has yet to share specifics on how the new format has actually been performing. In January, Instagram leader Adam Mosseri said that the format is growing, but the company is, quote, not yet happy with it. The feature is currently available in more than 80 countries, an Instagram spokesperson says. Meanwhile, TikTok has such a huge audience, and its ads have been so successful that the company plans to charge up to $2 million for a one-day takeover, according to Bloomberg. While TikTok's influence continues to grow and its legal threat continues to be postponed, Instagram still retains a huge advantage of having Facebook support behind it and being able to tap into an already massive app. Let's talk about the Oculus ads, because there's nothing more that you want than trying to escape reality by putting on a headset and going into a virtual reality only to be bombarded with ads. It's like that Black Mirror episode. I think was it Black Mirror, or where it's like the husband and wife were in the kitchen, and like it's like, "Hi, honey," and it's like open up the fridge and there's an ad, and then there's an ad on the wall. Was it that one, or was the Philip K. Dick series?
They did that in that one Tom Cruise movie. I
Minority
forget what it was
Report.
called. Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did that in Minority Report. There were ads pertaining to the person everywhere. And I think Dave Chappelle did a sketch about that as well a long time ago, maybe 15 years ago. Dave Chappelle did a sketch about the ads popping up. That's been kind of a common subject, and now it's real.
Yeah, and the whole thing about VR is, I mean, there's a few things here. So I'll just get through the article here, and this is from The Verge. Facebook will start putting ads in Oculus Quest apps. It will expand them based on user feedback. Facebook will soon be testing ads in the virtual reality system. In the coming weeks, ads will start appearing inside the Resolution Games title Blasted, as well as two other unnamed apps. Facebook will later expand the system based on user feedback, saying it aims to create a, quote, self-sustaining platform for VR development. Facebook introduced ads on the Oculus mobile app last month, and it's used limited Oculus data to target Facebook advertising since 2019. But this is its first major foray into putting ads inside the Oculus VR platform itself. Quote, once we see how this test goes and incorporate feedback from developers and the community, we'll provide more details on when ads may become more broadly available across Oculus platform in the Oculus mobile app. Facebook has no plans to base ads on movement or voice command data. As on Facebook's non-VR apps, you can block specific posts or companies from appearing in ad slots, and Facebook says it's not changing how it collects or analyzes user information. It says that some of the most sensitive data, like raw images from Oculus headset cameras and weight or height information from Oculus Move fitness tracking, remains solely on users' devices. Also, Facebook says it has no plans to target ads based on movement data or recordings from its voice assistant. Facebook spokesperson says the system will use information from your Facebook profile as well as, quote, whether you've viewed content, installed, activated, or subscribed to an Oculus app, added an app to your cart or wish list, if you've initiated checkout or purchased an app on the Oculus platform, and lastly, whether you've viewed, hovered, saved, or clicked on an ad within a third-party app. Even if you hover over the ad. Note that. All right, so this goes into a further detailing. It's like Facebook says ads are part of an attempt to figure out profitable business options in the growing but often difficult field of VR app development. Quote, this is a key part of ensuring we're creating a self-sustaining platform that can support a variety of business models that unlock new types of content and audiences. It also helps us to continue to make innovative AR and VR hardware more accessible to more people. Ads have always seemed in the cards for Facebook's super cheap Quest. All right. So Facebook, they also go on to say Facebook currently dominates consumer VR with its Oculus Quest 2 headset, which at $299 is one of the cheapest options on the market. It's also acquired the studios behind several major VR games, including rhythm game Beat Saber and the Battle Royale title Population 1. While it may face renewed competition from a second generation of Sony PlayStation VR headset next year, at least one VR company has retreated from consumer hardware in part because of Facebook's influence. Vive creator HTC, which has called Facebook's low-cost consumer headsets artificially subsidized by the company's advertising-focused business model. All right, we get it. Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising, free. I'm paying $300 for a headset. I'm buying your games that you're creating on your platform, and you're saying the ads will subsidize this? I'm paying $300 for a headset. Wait until the other headsets roll out, the Quest 3, and then you have the business level one, the enterprise level ones that are thousands of dollars. And at what point, here's another question, the other thing about having an Oculus, you must have a Facebook account. So as the younger generation is not signing up for Facebook or not using Facebook as much, now the younger generation also wants to be with the VR, wants to have a VR headset, and the younger generation can also have a better opportunity of affording an Oculus Quest at such a low price margin. So they can get on there. Now Facebook has you, and you can put your messenger in. Messenger. Somebody messages me on Facebook. I get it. I tried it out when I turned it off, but you can get messages in Facebook. You can get your. I want to be in VR. I want to be in my world. I want to be in my home, and I don't want to see ads. I want to hang out. I want to do stuff. I want to be away from all the interruptions. And what are they going to do? They're going to put it in games now. So they're going to put ads in their games. Like, if they can seamlessly do this, fine. Where it's like you're just walking down a block and there's a billboard there. But if it becomes one of these, interrupting cow situations, it's like knock, knock, interrupting moo. It's like, it's going to be really annoying. And I think also at this point, people are going to start, really complaining. And at what point does an antitrust lawsuit go into place? When does the government start looking at this? Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Oculus, the building of the games, all that advertising, all that data. I don't know. Anybody have any thoughts on this one?
I was just going to say that this almost reminds me of a little bit of the consumer discomfort that happened when cable TV started having so many ads. I remember back in the day when people would say, "Oh, well, I pay for cable or satellite so that I don't have to watch a bunch of ads." And now even a subscription service online, a television service online, is going to require that you watch some ads when you pay even for premium content. And so I'm wondering to what extent this is going to be a winnable fight. I'm going to want to keep an eye on this headline here.
Yeah. I would also like Billboard to turn off their ads. I have the pro version of Billboard and trying to look at articles, and it's like everything's a pop up. You have the lower right pop up, you have the uh, banner slider pop up. It's like you can't even, you have about a third of your, less than a third, a quarter of your screen space is at the actual article, and the rest of it, 75% of the page is advertising, and I pay
It's
for it.
almost like it's almost like swatting away flies to get rid of all the advertisements so you can look at the content you've paid for.
It's more like mosquitoes. So annoying. Anyway, with that, we're going to talk a little bit more quickly on gaming. This one looks fun. This is the O2 Arena recreated in Fortnite. So that's the London O2 Arena. Easy Life will perform a virtual show at the in-game O2 as the venue becomes the first real world arena to appear in the popular video game. The O2 is set to become its own venue in Fortnite, with players now able to explore the iconic London venue ahead of an in-game performance by UK act Easy Life this Thursday. Created in Fortnite Creative, the Minecraft-like sandbox game within Fortnite proper, the virtual O2 is a faithful recreation from the outside, while inside players can discover, quote, exciting gameplay additions, including hidden rooms, backstage areas, and a new take at the O2's bar, the O2 Blue Room. On record signed, Easy Life's in-game performance will be available to watch from this Thursday, June 24th to Sunday, and it's on Sunday, June 27th. The show will then be posted to Easy Life's YouTube channel from Monday, June 28th. Described as an interactive music experience rather than a virtual concert, the show promises an ever-changing virtual world influenced by Easy Life's music and lyrics. During the event, Fortnite players will be transported to 6 unique areas, each inspired by a different track from Life's a Beach, the band's debut album. This looks fun. I might check this out. I like that they're touting it. They're not trying to say it's a concert. It's an interactive music experience. This is when people are saying, you hear it's like, oh, well, VR, will these virtual concerts replace live? Like, no, it's not. It's an interactive music experience. There was one in Altspace VR on Friday. Haley, what's her name? I forgot. She was on The Voice, I think it was. And Microsoft, which is the owner of Altspace VR, this is one of their first major events where they used mesh. And you're kind of on the playa. It was a very Burning Man layout, and she was on a stage in this giant tent, and she was live. So it was that kind of hologram-ish like recreation that she was there live, and if she like stopped and she was talking, you could see her feet. So it's like, it was really cool to see it in mesh. And what was really interesting about it, and I don't know if this is a feature or a bug or what is it, but if I'm on the left side of the stage, she was sitting at a keyboard, and so she was kind of facing me. And when I moved to the opposite side of the room, the stage, like the keyboard, she would turn, so she would always be looking at my direction. It wasn't like creepy like that, but it was just like very subtle. So it was like you were always kind of looking more at her as opposed to looking at her back. So it didn't matter where you were in the room, you could see her from the front. And let's talk about Deezer as we're wrapping up the tech block. And this is from whathifi.com. Deezer launches 360 sections to showcase Sony 360 reality audio. There's been plenty of excitement about Apple's spatial audio in recent weeks, but now it's the turn of Deezer to step into spatial audio limelight. The music streaming service has revealed that it will offer Hi-Fi subscribers a series of 360 sessions, live performances reformatted in Sony 360 reality audio. Using Sony's object-based spatial audio technology, the 28 playlist aims to provide, quote, a unique immersive experience in which all audio elements, including vocals, individual instruments, and audience, can be heard as if they are in different positions inside a 360 spherical space. So the tracks include live performances from a slew of global stars and rising talents, from Dua Lipa to Circa Waves and more. And anyone with a subscription to Deezer Hi-Fi, the service's CD quality tier, can enjoy the 360 sessions from today. No special hardware is needed, but you will need to download the standalone 360 by Deezer app, and premium users can enjoy the playlist, but only in stereo. I think I want to check this out and see what kind of, I'm really looking forward to this. I know in VR, they've been really going crazy with 3D audio, so you can fly around a room and be able to experience it really in this complete virtual world. With that being said, we move on from Deezer to
Big Green Dot. It's the spot. It is the Spotify Spot, the portion of our broadcast where we look at streaming technology and music. But before we do want to check in with our weather update. We remind our viewers to dance like the weather is watching. And a reminder, the weather only wants to see you dancing in the purple rain. Back over to you, Peter. That is our weather update, and we move into our Spotify Spot. Don't forget, you can raise your hand and join our discussion anytime.
All right. And this one is from Billboard.com. This came out last week, and I'm just going to touch upon it now. Wondering which artists have joined Spotify's Billion Streams Club? Wonder no more. Billboard can exclusively announce that the streaming service is launching its Billions Club playlist. According to Spotify, the new playlist, which currently features more than 150 songs, highlights the mega hits that have surpassed the 1 billion streams mark. Including in the new playlist are Billie Eilish's Bad Guy, Drake's God's Plan, J Balvin's Magente, and many, many others. The global head of creative artist partnerships at Spotify says, Spotify has long celebrated artist milestones, and we wanted to find a unique way to honor the artists and songs fans can't stop listening to. The Billions Club playlist is a natural evolution of the plaques you have seen from multiple artists, and we are excited to give fans a one-stop destination to enjoy some of the most streamed songs in the world. Also, in celebration of the newly rounded up collection of songs, Spotify created a video sharing how artists have revealed when learning of that milestone and receiving their 1 billion streams plaque from the streamer. Prior to the launch of the Billions Club playlist, some artists have marked hitting the billion streams achievement by doing more than just showing off their shiny new plaques on social media. Several have literally eaten off the platter-shaped badge of honor. Halsey dug into some Cheetos and candy. Joe Jonas dined on some McDonald's, and Quavo ate some scrambled eggs and waffles with plenty of syrup. And you can see more on the site. So this Spotify has been busy this year launching new features beyond the announced Billions Club playlist. In April, the streaming service had added some live stream events to the artist pages. Late May, they partnered with Drift for tickets to virtual conference series. And this goes on with everything that's going on with Spotify. And then there's this Spotify Green Room. And we're just going to leave it with that. So that's it for the reads today, everybody. Let's see final thoughts here. Eli.
My final thoughts, honestly, are still with so many folks who are out of work and maybe even out of town, who are part of the live performance sector, and they're trying to return to places where they can work, where there are jobs available, and they need paperwork in order to do it. And so I'm just hopeful that those permissions pull through and that those strings get pulled. I know that everyone is struggling right now, and everything is slowly, coming back to life and ready to thrive. So I really want to see these workers, these security workers and live show industry workers return to work with their paperwork in order. I'm really hopeful that that happens in the EU and in the UK and everywhere truly in the globe right now. I can't wait to return to live shows and see all these people working again. Sometimes when people go to concerts, they focus on the stage, but I think I'm as fascinated by the crew as by the act on the stage. I'm watching them work on the rigging, and I'm watching them work on the sound and repair things and duck behind the front line to run another cable out or fix in-ears. And I think I'm as fascinated by the staff as I am by the show. I love it all. I can't wait to see staffs at venues and shows working again and musicians playing on the stage. Let's have it.
I miss the sounds of things dropping on the stage, like when you're across the hall. It's like you just hear that slap, that bang, and that echo, and then you hear a drill in somewhere, and then you hear somebody's throwing some cables, and you just hear that clack. It's like those. It's like just the sound. It's like comfort sounds. Like when you talk about meditation sounds, I don't want to hear oceans, Russ. I don't want to hear ocean waves or wind. I want to hear the sounds of rigging going up.
Yeah, I want to hear, rigging going up or down. I want to hear cables getting wrapped or unwrapped. I want to hear the crew working. Yeah, let's have it. I can't wait for that. I'm with you on that. Those are my comfort sounds too.
And then I want to hear somebody yelling.
Well, yeah, there's got to be somebody yelling somewhere, and someone's got to throw something, and drop something. I guess somebody's got to drop a hammer on their toe or something. But thank goodness for
Oh,
steel toes, right?
yes, we know. Yes. All right. We're going to wrap up just a little early. We had a lot to cover today, and I also want to save some for tomorrow. So unless anybody has something to add, feel free to raise your hand and jump in, or we are going to wrap this up. And again, you can check all this information out at musicindustrycity.com by clicking on the show notes. And this Thursday in the city, in Music Industry City, we're having a picnic. It's a networking picnic, and it's in our metaverse. We're having a networking picnic in our metaverse, and everybody should have received the email we sent out last night. We'll also send it out again on Wednesday. So make sure you RSVP. Due to city ordinances, there is only a max gathering permit allowed for 15 people in the metaverse. So, city ordinances. You know how it is. So make sure you RSVP, and it is going to be this Thursday. It's going to be 4 p.m. Eastern, so we want to make sure that people overseas can join in, and also on the West Coast. So make sure you check that out. And if you didn't get that, it's probably because it's either in your spam folder or you're not registered at musicindustrycity.com, which you can do that for free. So if you want to join us, make sure you register, and we'll be resending that out. And Eli, happy summer. Welcome back again. And we'll see you same time tomorrow.
Let's do it. Same time, same place, 12 to 1 Eastern, right here at the Music News Power Hour, and we will see you then. Thanks for joining us.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.